Mastering ESG environmental, social, governance factors. Only one exec holds the planet's fate in their hands. Who within the organization is responsible for overseeing the management and reporting of its biodiversity and ecosystem impacts, and what mechanisms are in place to ensure transparency and accountability in this regard? In the context of ESG, operational excellence encompasses the implementation of robust systems and processes to manage and mitigate environmental, social, and governance risks. Within this framework, overseeing the management and reporting of biodiversity and ecosystem impacts is a critical aspect of responsible business practices. To ensure transparency and accountability, a clear organizational structure and mechanisms should be in place to assign responsibilities and promote accountability. Designated responsibility. The organization should designate a senior-level executive, preferably the Chief Sustainability Officer, CSO, or equivalent, to oversee the management and reporting of biodiversity and ecosystem impacts. This executive should report directly to the CEO or Board of Directors, ensuring that biodiversity and ecosystem considerations are integrated into the organization's overall strategy and decision-making processes. The CSO or equivalent should be responsible for 1. Developing and implementing a comprehensive biodiversity and ecosystem impact management strategy aligned with the organization's overall sustainability goals and objectives. 2. Conducting regular biodiversity and ecosystem impact assessments to identify potential risks and opportunities. 3. Developing and maintaining stakeholder engagement mechanisms to ensure that the views and concerns of internal and external stakeholders are considered in decision-making processes. 4. Ensuring that relevant data and information are collected, monitored, and reported in a transparent and accurate manner. 5. Providing training and capacity-building programs for employees to raise awareness about biodiversity and ecosystem conservation. Mechanisms for transparency and accountability. To ensure transparency and accountability, the organization should establish the following mechanisms. 1. Stakeholder engagement. Establish a multi-stakeholder forum that includes representatives from local communities, NGOs, industry associations, and government agencies to engage in open and transparent dialogue about biodiversity and ecosystem impacts. 2. Materiality assessment. Conduct regular materiality assessments to identify the most significant biodiversity and ecosystem impacts and prioritize initiatives accordingly. 3. Key performance indicators, KPIs. Develop and track KPIs related to biodiversity and ecosystem impacts, such as species conservation, habitat restoration, and ecosystem services. 4. Independent verification. Engage third-party experts to verify the accuracy and reliability of biodiversity and ecosystem impact data and reporting. 5. Grievance mechanisms. Establish clear grievance mechanisms for stakeholders to report concerns or incidents related to biodiversity and ecosystem impacts, with a clear process for investigation, remediation, and resolution. 6. Internal audits and reviews. Conduct regular internal audits and reviews to ensure compliance with relevant policies, procedures, and regulatory requirements related to biodiversity and ecosystem conservation. 7. Disclosures and reporting. Publish regular sustainability reports that include detailed information on biodiversity and ecosystem impacts, performance against KPIs, and progress toward goals and targets. 8. Board of Directors oversight. Ensure that the Board of Directors has a dedicated committee or working group focused on sustainability and biodiversity, with regular reporting and oversight of biodiversity and ecosystem impact management. By assigning clear responsibilities and establishing robust mechanisms for transparency and accountability, organizations can ensure that biodiversity and ecosystem impacts are effectively managed and reported, contributing to operational excellence in ESG.